What is that alarm? Oh, it's time to go. Time to get started. Oh man, I set an alarm and it scared the crap out of me. Ooh, daddy. What's going on? What's going good? Tony, you're here already. Oh man, what is that alarm again? What is that alarm? Oh, it's time to go. Time to get started. Oh man. Oh man, I set an alarm and it scared the crap out of me. God. Ooh, daddy. Alright, now that I don't have to listen to myself. Apparently I had my stream window open, getting that repeat back. What's going on, guys? I know Tony doesn't like this big thing, but it's the meanest looking, so we're gonna do one of each. We're gonna do a small one, which I've already done, a medium tractor and a large tractor, and so this is just getting started here. I need to delete this bad boy. This is the one we're gonna do though, and I already have it imported into Blender. But if I wanted to show you guys how to do that really quick. Oh, gotta stretch. Maybe let everybody stretch really fast. We're gonna be here for a while. Yeah, you know, I suck at driving in general in the game, so there's that. But I already got some pretty neat ideas to Mad Maxify this. You know, for anything, at least for aesthetics, it'll look neat. Alright, that's 2 minutes. I think that's plenty of time if I have viewers that pop in. Modding's boring anyway, so I only expect like 5 people max. Oh, I gotta adjust the chair though. Good stream today, Tony. I always appreciate you just giving me shout outs and stuff. Thank you. Alright, so let's delete that light. I mainly had the light in there so I could show you guys what it looked like prior. And to extract this out, this is right now I'm playing in the actual i3D that's in the game, so I don't want to hit save. Yeah, otherwise it'll mess things up. Just do a quick sound check because I have music playing in the background to keep my headphones on. It's not too loud, is it? Might turn it down just a hair. There we go. Alright. First thing I like to do is separate this bad boy out. So I'll hit copy on the main visual here, and I'm going to hit paste. And what I want to do is just delete everything that's underneath it. That would be all of its child stuff. When we go to export out the model, you want it just bare bones like that. So after I have it selected, I have just the model now. And I'll go to export selection and select right here where it says wave. And I already have it exported out. It's right there. So you would just select that after select those things, hit save, and then what we would be able to, we want to close this now without hitting save. That's super important. Don't do that. Alright, don't look at that. That's a sneak peek. So I have it in here, and I actually have 2 of them in here because off camera to save us a little bit of time, I did some of the long tedious work, so that way I didn't have to bore everybody to death. But it is boring to do this, so just heads up. It's great and boring at the same time. So here's the model directly imported in from Giants. It'll basically put it right in where it is in the editor. It doesn't come with any materials or anything like that. And if we select it and then press our tab to look at the faces, you'll see that it's already UV mapped. Basically what this is right here is, let's see if I have no, I don't have it up right now. This is the textures that Giants gives us when we very first get going. And these textures, if we select this little box right here that allows us to keep the UV and the edit mode in sync, we can actually highlight and separate all the parts. So these parts in the game are just black, and we could pull that off, repaint that. What I want to do though is I need to get all these UV maps back in the center so I can export it to Substance Painter and repaint it. So in order to do that, I basically select it, move it down, and then I'll apply a texture or a material, just a, let's say a black here. I do this because then I make these ID maps and I can add unique colors and textures to stuff that Giants has already colored in textures, so they're different. Whether it's metal, bumpy, your color select, anything like that. And the goal is to get all these into there. So you would highlight it, select it over. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I think that's like a C2 or something. Let's just go with the C1. The big thing, it doesn't matter what you name them, just as long as they're a different color. I just have a naming system that I use to memorize, and it gets kind of tedious. You can do a different route and then just separate all these. So as you highlight it, you could select here, and then you select back on the model and you press P, and it'll actually pull that selection out. But to get past this, as you can see, it would take a little while. I've already done one. It's all moved in the center. Can't even really see the UV maps. And then I've assigned some textures over here, some materials over here, so then I can go through and very quickly make a ID map. So to do the ID map, I'm going to select everything, go to UV section down here, I'm going to click new, and we're going to put, I don't even remember what this thing is called, Versatile or something like that. We're just going to go, or what is it called? I guess I better get a proper name for it. Vehicles. Where are you at? There you go. Versatilite. However you say that. Rename. Copy. This one is the WD4. WD4. Yeah, I know. I'm not the best speller, you know. I did great in art and woodshop, but I really failed in English. Hey, what's going on, Jay? So I'm gonna rename this that has its name in there, and then I want ID as well, just so I know this image is the ID map. We're gonna change it to a 2048, so it's nice and big, nice and detailed on there, and then we're gonna hit OK. From here, I'm gonna go up to this camera section. And if you're using a newer blender, I don't know what to do to help you because I don't actually know the newer blender. And personally, I think 2.79b works better. Some of the textures and stuff. JV. I'm practicing. I'll probably say it different every time I say your name in general. So after we've selected the camera here, I like to go down here to the bake section. And under bake mode, instead of any of these, I'm going to choose textures. So, and when I do that, it's actually going to use these colors here. So it's super important that they're different, so we can quickly paint the model without having to dig around. And after we have textures, we're going to make sure it's clear and our margins at 2. We're going to press bake. Now, what it did here was created us a texture. The margins are a little big for what we're doing, so we're actually going to bump those margins down to 1. Bake. Even that's pretty tight in there. Maybe like a 0.7. The margins are basically this yellow part that's in between where the boxes are, so it's overlapping a little bit. We want to try to limit that down as much as we can. I guess 1 is all I can do. That's good enough though. After we have that, we'll hit save on it. Hit save, and then I think we're gonna do it out of this folder here. Ruined cars. Thought I made some Mad Max. There we go. That works for me. We're gonna save in that folder. Save image. Okay, now that we have the image saved, all the UV maps are in the center. We're going to export OBJ to the same folder. Selection only, super important so we don't crash the game. Or not the game, the editor, because it'll export everything I have in here, which is quite a bit. It'll take a little while. Versatile WD4, there we go. We'll export it just like that. And I like to have my name for the object set up just perfect, because when we export out of Substance Painter, it'll rename the images to whatever you have the object named. Export OBJ. But can you check Dizzy soon? What's Dizzy? Sorry to ask, but can you check Dizzy soon? Not sure what you're saying there. Maybe I'm a ditzy dizzy. So we're going to open Substance Painter now. Alright, sorry about the beep. I got into Patreon chat for if I have any Patreons on there. Dizzy sold Discord. Okay, I gotcha. I'm in Patreon chat right now, so it's just what I do. I told all my Patrons if they wanted to be a part of the stream, they could, so I'm just allowing them for the stream. Give back a little bit. Okay, so we got our versatile, however you say that. I'm gonna merc it every single time. Then we're also gonna add in our baked mesh map right here. Press OK. Should give us attracted now. And then to look around, I hold Alt and then I use my left mouse button to give me a little rotate, and then the center mouse button to move back and forth. But you got to hold down Alt while you do that. It really messes with you going back and forth between the two between all the different programs that use different ways to operate their cameras. So we're going to scroll on texture set setting here, and I'm going to go to select ID map. After I have that selected, I'm going to go bake mesh maps. I'm going to uncheck ID, go up here to dilation width. And then if you have a really high poly model, which we just imported in the one here, you could do that route, but I'm just going to bake what we have. JV, I'll do more voice chats to the public in the future, but when I open it up to the public, it just gets weird with a lot of trollers, so I hope you understand. Okay, after we have our textures baked, go in here and you can see it's added what's called an ambient occlusion, which is like a light shadow around all the, it's kind of messed up in a couple spots because of Giants models there. But we're actually going to be using the in-game specular map just because Giants made a better one, and we are just going to be changing the actual visual. It's called the diffuse textures. So now that we have that there, we can start to add some textures. And I got to recall all my colors here. Okay, so first things first, this is a color select. Should we go the original colors that were on the versatile, or should I change the colors? Because the original colors were the black, red with a little bit of yellow. Should I make that look old, or should I change the colors? What do you guys think? Unfortunately, I cannot make a Max rusty looking version that is color select. That seems to be outside of my grip right now. Change the colors. What would be a good? I guess we could just go all rusty or similar to it. Let's see. Let's see what looks good with it. So I have a rust in here. This metal paint is one of my favorites. So after I apply that there, we're going to go color select. I'm going to apply it to the outside. And then I'm actually gonna apply another one, but we're gonna make this a different color here momentarily. Apply that to the top. And then we're gonna do one more, and we're gonna apply that to the third color choice up here. And then we can go right down the line here and pick our color. There's like I, I don't know why that teal looks really Mad Maxy, but let's play with it a little bit. I just don't know what color to do. Gosh, a neon, that looks pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. Do we want to go wild looking? We could go wild looking, like a neon-y. Maybe some people don't like a wild looking green. I don't know. It's a tough one. How is this gonna mimic the same colors that were on it before? Tony, what color should we do this color? A blue? Maybe a blue? I'm awaiting your response. It's kind of a cool color. I don't know. I don't get a response. I'm gonna go to the typical red. We can go hot pink. Anybody like hot pink? Dirt brown. All right, check. Now let's see if we can make a dirt brown. Okay. That's that's pretty dirty. I didn't want to go too dark because then it'll block out the rust looks and stuff like that. Okay, now we're gonna look at the other one. We could go black on this one. If that's even really a black. It doesn't look very blackish. Alright, we'll go with that for right now. We can change it too in the future here. Just kind of dinking around. This is a like painting and sculpting, you know? Now this is gonna be the roof. Should we go with that more earth tones as well? Make it look just kind of wildly. I don't know, I kind of like that green. We might change that green there. Let's see what that other one looks like with the green. Ah, my music stopped. I'm gonna need to hit play on that. On something at least. Alright. So for that top one, I kind of like the green. I think I might do the dirt bound and the green. We'll see what it looks like here. Base metal. Select the color. I'm gonna paste in that hashtag right there. Alright, well we're just gonna keep cruising with it and we can change stuff. Let's get our base down. That way we can kind of the blacks and all that kind of stuff. Look what it looks like. I think it's under metal. I have so many textures that I've purchased or found over the years. Not all this stuff is stock, by the way, for Substance Painter when you get it. I've had to get some people to make stuff for me. I've learned how to make a few things myself. Okay, there. That gives you a little bit of a. It definitely looks Mad Maxy. Still not. I don't know about the green yet. I'll let you guys decide. Okay, so now we need kind of a rubber. Rubber tire, try. Color selection, we're gonna choose that right there. And then we need to add in some, it's chrome. Don't worry, it's not gonna look crazy bad yet. Okay, after we add in the chrome on that, we need to add the rust shader to it. Rust. Is that the rust? I hope that was the rust. No, don't like that. Don't like that tint. It looks ugly. Definitely looks ugly. Let's try this one. One of my favorites. I love, but we're not gonna do the whole thing. Sometimes though it just has a little bit too much rust. Alright, that's the basics. That green is really green on the back. We gotta change that. I thought it was gonna be more neutral green. I think we're getting close here. Yeah, that green's gotta get changed. Is that the kind of, I don't know if that's a brown. It's more of a burnt orange. I didn't want to go too brown because the rust is brown. I do like the color. I think we just need to figure out what do we want to be the set of the green. Not that. I like the brown. You like the brown and the green? Hey, what's going on? Whoa.
Just a second on your left.
Sorry, I had to turn you down a little bit. You came in hot and heavy. Hey, if you got push to chat, could you please turn that on? Cool. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Alright. Hey, glad to see you in there, Cody. I appreciate it. Alright, so I think we're done in here painting for right now. It looks pretty apocalyptic. We still got a lot to build inside of Blender. So let's export textures, and I can always make different versions too. That's the neat thing about this is we just go back and repaint it. But that looks pretty rough looking. So we're gonna just export some of these textures out right now. Giants, and we're selecting Giants Engine 8 asset. I want them to be big so they're nice and purdy. Export. Alright, that's exported out. Let's look and see what it looks like on here. Don't want that. We want the add max. So open a new window. Should be able to look at it now. Let's see what it looks like in here. Yeah, there we go. Now, the neat thing is I don't have to do anything else with the model. And a matter of fact, if I mess with Giant's model at all, it'll break it because it has this stuff called skinning. And if you're not sure about if it has skinning or not, you'll see right. Most of the time in Giants, they'll say skinned meshes, and it'll have this box checked right up here. Now, if it says that, you cannot do any edits to the model or it will error crash on you. Unless you're going to recode all the animations and stuff that they have in there, but they basically encoded animations inside the model. So we can't actually edit the model, but what we can do is make a whole new mod and edit. We can add objects to the outside of it, right? So we're going to new mod from game right here, and we're going to desperately try to track down. Let's see. Going to try to track it down inside of the mod editor here, if it'll load. Come on, baby. Yes. Okay, this is the tough part. We need to find the WD4. Now, I wish I could have did this for you off screen. I probably should have, but we are looking like a champ here. Hey, if you're watching, I got more viewers than I do likes, so help a brother out, you know. Appreciate it. Oh man, I think they need to figure out a better way to organize this because it's a cluster. It's a cluster to find stuff. WD4. You figured it would be at the very end down here. If not, we're gonna make it the old-fashioned way. And I'm gonna give it one more little look up here. If I don't see it, if my eyes don't catch it right off the bat, then that's the end of the world. We're gonna make it the other way. Cow. Your brain melt? My brain melts sometimes. Spartan disk. Easy flow. Why don't we have a WD? Tractor. Quad track. You figured it'd be like right in here. What's this? I think we've passed it. There's the fast tracks. Almost up to the top. And we're gonna make it a different way. I was gonna show you it like that, but we'll have to do that. JV. I don't know why. Why JV? So from here, we're going to click Save As. And I'm actually going to add it to this pack, I think. Yeah, I'm going to add it to this pack. So looks like I'm going to be updating that tractor I sent out to everybody. Might just do that instead of making 5,000 mods, because, if you end up wanting one mod, you probably want them all, right? Why have just one Mad Max vehicle when you can have them all? So I guess we'll just turn that into a pack like I do everything else. Just makes it easier. Okay, so I'm saving the i3D file of the stock in-game one inside of its own little folder inside of my Mad Max folder. I might be thinking that up. We'll see. We will see. Okay, now it's saved, and I actually need to grab the code over here. So copy the XML for the in-game one, and we're going to try to track down the Yes, I did put that one in there. We're going to track down this, and we're going to paste it into there. Now that we have that, I can open up my mod disk. And while we're waiting for that, we can go up here to our main viz. This is where it's going to get fun. And we're going to, unfortunately, remove the color select. So now everything is going to look a little weird and all this kind of stuff. So from here, we're going to apply our textures now. Sorry, I can't see chat right now if you're messaging me. I got all my windows covered up for some reason. So from here, I'm going to track down those textures that I just made, and here it is right here. Convert it. Okay, now that I got it converted, but it's converted in my working folder. It's not actually converted in my mod, so I'm going to find the DDS, hit copy on it. I'm going to actually go to my mod and paste it in there and then reopen it. That way, if I go to export this out to friends or whatnot, I can actually I can give them the textures without having to deal with it. It says you're missing the textures. So it's hit save. Let's look at create light just so it's a little brighter in here. Create a couple lights. I don't crash my game doing it. Totally gonna crash the game doing it. Alright, so now we have a dirty looking version of it, but we have a little bit of work to do here because stuff like this doesn't look too dirty, does it, right? The yellow. And honestly, some of the tags here, uh, it's a hit or miss. What we could do is just make it super dirty so it gets dirty really fast. And then it will, oh, did we, okay. I thought I stripped the color off that. The interior is a little bit more difficult to do this with because they're working with a lot of different textures here, and I don't think I'm going to do that for these tractors. I think it's going to be a like a party on the outside, but really nice on the inside. Unless I want to get too technical with these. But we got a yellow grill. Oh, they have a couple different grids here. Second UV mask, and they're actually just changing the color inside of visibility. Where's the black grill at? Okay, so that's what those grills are. See, we can add dirt to these and make them really dirty pretty easily. And then they'll blend in a little bit more, but I hate this yellow. I really do hate this yellow. It's ugly looking. Man, I keep trying to get my, I want my music to stay playing. I'm using Epic Sounds, but it's being a pain in the butt. So this grill mat is using a texture. So we're actually going to track down that texture. I had to do this on the other tractor as well. And it's using WD4 Grill Diffuse, this one right here. Well, looks like we don't really have to edit it. It looks like it's edited down here, so it's probably one of these. Nope, we're gonna start messing some stuff up, aren't we? Color map 4? I'll find it eventually. It's one of these freaking ones. I think that was the one. Yeah, that was the one. So we'll remove that out and kind of. Oh, they got it multicolored. Look at that. Looks like Christmas now. So one of them is color mat 0. The other one is color mat 2. Pretty sure that's what we're looking at right here. And we're just gonna go, I think all black with some dirt on it. And maybe not too much dirt, maybe like half the amount of dirt. So it looks kind of older. And then for the red 2, unfortunately, I want it to be a lot darker of a red. To a lot darker of a red. We might even go darker than that. I want everything to be somewhat, I think 12. Set the texture on that, and then we're gonna go back to this one and I'm gonna set 12 is rubber, and rubber is one of the few things that isn't shiny in this game. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's gonna be a funky issue. Rear hydraulics. I don't want to have to pull that out and repaint it. Does it have its own texture too? Hitch mask. No hydraulics. But we changed the one. We didn't remake the textures for this. I don't know if I want to. That might be a lot of work. It gets harder to do this with more parts that are separated. We could, or we could just make it black and darken it up quite a bit. And possibly go with a 12, like a rubbery looking. Pull that off just so we can. That might be the one thing that looks nice on this. I'll have to do a little dinking around. All right, so we got our basics done here. Got our lights. Got all of our textures applied here. We can now hit. Oh, we got our outdoor camera, so we need to make sure this guy's back up here where it belongs. We'll hit save, and I'm actually going to create a new camera, so next time I open this up, it will automatically put me in that. What I like to do is I'll open up the Wheels tab, because it's the first. You have to put your work camera before the other cameras, because the game loads you into your first camera when you're in the editor. So I'll put that camera there, and we'll jump in it really fast, so we can do some edits. Alright. I'm not a huge fan of the decals. We might end up getting rid of those. We'll see. I think instead of... We'll see. If we want them, we'll bring them back. If not, I kind of like the... decalless. We'll leave the Screws logo decal. I think we're gonna hide a lot of that stuff. Give it that feeling of being old, you know? Oh, on that note, I definitely think that it is
Let's talk about your cable.
Oh, it's time to laugh. We need a little
Let's
break.
talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Some Gary Busey. All right, I feel pumped up. I needed that. I needed that. All right. Yeah, you like that, Tony. I'm shocked you're here, man. This is pretty boring stuff. At least I feel it is. I feel it's really boring stuff. All right. Got that. We have our... Let's open up our thingy-majiggy here. XML. That's what I'm looking at. So I've got the one we copied. First thing we need to change is the file location. So this file name here needs to be directed in the same order as our folder. So if I was to open up my Mad Max here, the game's going to come in. It's going to read the mod disk first. Now the mod disk is going to point to this XML file here. So let's snag the name of that really quick. Rename, check. And let's open up the mod disk. I have the mod disk open way over there. So I've already put the series 8150 in this one. So what we're gonna do is duplicate the store thing here. And we're just gonna put the W4, and it's looking for this folder, which is located, if we look up here at the top, Mad Max WD4. We want those two things to match up. Mad Max Farm, my mod description. Okay, I'm happy with that. I don't think we actually have an icon I've made for this yet. So we have the mod disk reaches into this folder and looks for this WD4. And as it's going down the line, you know, it has all the stored data here that tells you, you know, what brand it's going to be in, what category when you're in the shop. It's going to assign an image. It's going to tell you the price, the function. These are a lot of just built-in tags the game has, but you can add your own. And then the name of it. Oh, it's the 4WD. So we could have made one. Dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. next one I'll do that. Sometimes you don't know what they're building. And then one thing we did edit is this right here, the WD4. So now we're looking for that. I didn't make any other changes to the rest of this. This all should just work stock, and I don't recommend messing with it because it's all pretty dialed in, unless you wanted to add a couple silly things. But for the most part, oh, except for right here, base material, we no longer are allowing the player to have the color selection. Actually, they never had color selection in the first place, but these materials are not going to exist anymore because I've pulled off the shader off of them, so the game won't recognize it. So we're actually just going to silence that. We're going to put the dirt duration down to 20. Yeah, 10. I want it to be dirty like right when you buy it, and with no way to ever keep it clean. So we have our store item loaded, and it is looking into this folder right here. We don't need to have these extra windows open. It's going to be looking in this folder, and if I open this up, it is going to pull in the diffused, which is already in the folder. So this should be good to go 100% right now to load it up in game, which I think we should try right off the bat. Let's get it going. And then after we check it out in game, we'll go into some more advanced stuff like what you see I'm doing to this car right here, or the in-game pickup truck. Just making it look all Mad Maxed. I have a ton of models that I would like to try to use and add to these guys, so we'll see what fits its purpose. So let's give it a shot in game. Hopefully it looks good, because if not, we'll pull it back into Substance Painter. Alright, here we go. Into the Matrix. Waiting for Steam to load. No, I don't care about all your sales you have going on. I don't have any friends either. There we go. Let's talk about buttered sausage. I freaking love that. I don't know why, it makes me laugh every time. I love it. We need to find my broken Mad Maxed farm. There it is. Okay, let's load into the Waterworld. Oh, if you guys haven't checked out Tony, you have to find him over on Twitch. I need to set up my game so I can click off the game without it showing my desktop. Next time we pop out, Tony, I'll put a link for your stream over there for some people that want to. He'll be streaming my map Thursday evening, or Thursday evening is the last night to get him the map. I can't remember 100%, but he'll be streaming it this week, so I'll make sure to put him in a community post here on my YouTube so you guys can go check him out. He actually plays the game. Unlike me, I just edit the game. Friday he will be doing that. Alright, time to check her out. So when you very first start in the map, now my last tractor I made actually comes stock in the map, and I'm going to be doing that for all these vehicles that I'm making. They're all going to have pretty wild looking models, textures for when you very first buy them. So let's go to large tractor. And here's ours right here, Mad Max Farm. Are you ready? Moment of truth. How's it look? Besides the wheels being glossy as all heck, I like it. The green actually played really well into the looking old. The couple. There's some stuff I can do the hubs and the rims. It's just gonna make this mod a lot bigger than it needs to be. And I'll probably do that last because I don't know if you guys ever taken a look at all the hubs and wheels that this game has, but they're all in one folder. So if I was to do one, eventually I'd have to do all of them because of how they're coded and set up. So we'll look at that later. Right now, I'd just love to get a Mad Maxy feel to it, and I'm glad we shaded that black because then it hides it a little bit better. I know, man, those hubs. That'll be. You know what? You know what? You're right, Tony. We're not going to tolerate this. Those hubs. I can't do much without pulling. Those hubs are like hidden in the game. Let's go. We're going to fix this problem though, Tony. The two of us right now. We're going to fix it. Somewhere, I think. Mods. New. Waterworld Steyer. I need to look at your code, Mr. Steyer. Gonna pull that over there. Where's our W for it? Right here. In the Steyer, I added some code to make the rims a different color. Copy. And there. The Mad Max Steyer version that you just saw is already public. This one will be public as well. I'll be making the mods, and then also they'll be installed in the map. So if you're playing my map, you won't have to load the mods. Oh, you know what? I don't think we did. We never deleted these lights. Ooh, that's super bad. We need to delete that and hit save again. See, because we didn't delete those lights, you're going to get this error where it says i3D offers 6 objects, but 2 components have been loaded. Yeah, anytime you have anything outside of the loaded in components, it will dink up on you. So let's just hit reload. There, Tony. Are you happy? Hey, no problem, MC. Appreciate it. Now there. Oh, look at that gnarly red hub. We're gonna go with some power. Now you can choose what color you want to do. That's better. That gives me a chance to not have to mess with the hub thing, because I'm really dreading doing all the hubs for all this crap. Like, that's not something I really want to do. It probably needs to be done, but I don't think you understand the scope of it. So let's hit buy, since we got all the money in the world. Dope. Yeah. Alright, I'm just kind of driving around, getting an idea of where I can put additional models on here without compromising the animation movements. And so far, I think I can pretty much put it anywhere on the front half and be just fine. Looks pretty good though. The interior's a little too nice though for interiors in the hubs, man. They're gonna be my challengers here. You know, that back hydraulic thing has its own texture. Just gets a little. I mean, it's something I could do, but how bad do I want to do it? It's kind of a nightmare. All right. So that looks pretty good. Let's pull it back out into Blender now that we have this. Let's look at some crazy. I have some stuff already kind of modeled up here. I like that. That's something that I wanted to use. We're going to duplicate that and move that to, I think, in here. You like it as is? Well, maybe I'll make these as options to where you can add that other stuff. Definitely was not this one. It's the one before this. And to put the geometry on it, we're going to move it over and probably have to make it smaller and do some face editing. I know you like it, Tony, but you need craziness. One must have some craziness. It's definitely not centered. So in order to center that, I will put my cursor to right there, and then I'm going to set... I gotta redo the geometry on this really fast too. Cursor to selected, and then reset the origin to 3D cursor, then click back on this one, move the 3D cursor again, and then we're gonna, this is the confusing part, selection to cursor. Now it should be centered. You like the colors as is? Okay, good. I feel like that'll work, but it goes back too far. Actually, that doesn't look too bad, I guess. A little bit of clipping, but I don't think anybody would really notice. Definitely sure it doesn't cut into that. I like that. I think that'll look mean. Mean green fighting machine. Let's look what other models I've got over here. We're definitely gonna need... We're gonna need some spikes. This just requires spikes. Rotation. Nope, I wanted to. Sometimes I can't remember my code. I have to, my shortcuts. By rotation. There we go. Geometry. My brain was not working there. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, look at the spikiness. Definitely need spikes. Can I get a like spike? That was a good one. Gonna have to do a little bit of angling here to get these, do some manual placing. A couple that look like they're off the ground, like this one right here, looks just a hair off the top of it. These ones are way too sunk in. Yeah, that's basically all we're doing is just maxifying it. Mad maxifying it. If that's even a thing. I hope it's a thing because I just made it a thing. Yeah, I love that. We're getting close. I'm pretty sure somebody did something similar with like Big Bud for FS17, but it wasn't the greatest. It won like 3rd or 4th in the mod contest they did, but it did not have the 3D model capabilities that I would have expected. Like it was just the models were kind of crappy. They were blurry compared to just having some normal box textures. So if there's ever a contest again, I think I'm going to enter it. Okay, so I think I got all those to where they're at least poking out and ready. Let's see what other models I got here we can throw in. We are going to need a... I got a lot of stuff to use in the future. These guys, I was liking these. Hey, music, where'd you go again? '80s horrors. There we go, music. Welcome back. Alright, so let's pop on. Come on, baby. The pipes. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's not a bad one to use. They definitely need to be a lot bigger, but yeah, that's not a bad idea at all, man. That was great. It's gonna make it look like he has a mustache. Should they be big? No, that looks pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. We'll cursor to selected. Add the 3D cursor. And then we're gonna apply a mirror. Pop it on the other side. Something like that? Or should they be bigger? Should be bigger pipes. Should I go like super biggie? Here's a big tractor. Nah, that's too big. I think just regular like that's pretty cool looking. Good call, Tony. I want that one. Just trying to figure out how I can snag it without getting all the rest of those models. That one over. Witness me! Selection to cursor, so it's right in the middle of the model. How tall do we want this thing? Should it be up there, or the hood, or the roof? Could move it back to. Might just. How does that look from inside? It's not too bad. I mean, people care, but you already got that big pipe thing right here blocking lighter view. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad place for it. Look up here. Now it looks a little silly. Maybe in the front. I think that's looking good. What do you guys think? I'll pause here for just a second. The front of the hood, or the back of the hood, or the roof? Or we can just remove it completely, and I have smaller effigies we could use. So far, I think that one's gonna win the show. I see one little error is gonna portray from this is this stupid ladder looks a little clipped. So we're gonna go let's suck it in a little bit more, see if we can do that. That's a little better. Or I'm gonna leave that there for right now, but I'm gonna duplicate it just to see what it looks like down here. So rotate on there. That's actually looks pretty cool. I think we'll go like that. Yeah, I think that's the route we're gonna go. It just fits. I feel like it fits. it forward just a hair. Okay. Anything else I want to add to it? Any other models? You guys want to see what the textures actually look like for some of these? Pretty cool looking. Here's some effigies that I got. Teddy bear. A rock star. Kind of want to put something on the back. Move that over. See if we can find a home for a couple of these. Feel like we need some more flair in the back now. More flair, yep, that works for me. And that one doesn't have to be perfect. I do want to duplicate it though. We're gonna pull it over to the other side. Right about there. I think we'll be fine. Could use the mirror modifier, but I don't really care about perfect on that piece. Now, these little pole arms that stick out for the wheel guards, I feel like I'm underutilizing those. I really feel like they could be used. Oh, I don't know on this one. I like to have the game open to like get my juices flowing. I gotta know what's going on with it. Ooh, coffee, but it's cold. Sounds good. Sorry for the gulp. So, I'm not gonna utilize these arms yet. I haven't quite got an idea. Maybe after I'm a very visual person, I gotta like see all this in game and then be like, oh, I should have added this or I should have did this. So that's kind of where I want to go. Let's get this front half on there. I feel like it needs some flair though right in here. Definitely needs some flair. And I've been looking at these a couple times now. These ones right here. Move that over there and set the geometry, and we'll set it up on one side, and if we like it we'll apply the mirror modifier and put it on the other side. Need some more flair, baby. It's kind of angled a little bit. Might have to adjust the model. Scale. No, not that. Rotate. Go. Yep. Just like that, but maybe forward. Hey, what's up, Sean? Thanks for popping in. I'm right in the middle of maxifying the WD4, Mad Maxifying, I think we're gonna call it. I think that's what I've leveled on. There we go. I love that. Hopefully that doesn't conflict with the tire. Don't think it will. No, we got plenty of room right there to work with. Love it. Alright. Well, I guess I could show you that, Sean. This is kind of what we got going so far. So we got the paint job done. We got the mod in game. Now we're adding the maxifying additions to it. And we will find our mirror. I know I mirrored something. Mirror right here. But let's just add that to that. Control D. And now it should be pretty good on the other side. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that front half is looking good. I think the front half is done. So what I'm going to do is hit apply on those. And let's take a look at the textures here. So I have two different colors. I think one's pipe. Let's see. Bumpy. And we're gonna go rust on that one. Rust one, okay. Dopesies, dopesies, dopesies. This I kind of want to go black. I think it would look really mean black. And this guy, look at the textures on some of this. That one looks really bad. We're going to have to remake that texture. Okay, that's fine. Not too big of a deal. We're going to go fabric on these guys. Fabric assign, and then hit Control I for the rest of those. And just to make it fast, we're going to change it to bumpy. Just designing up my ID map right now, guys, so. And then on this one, we'll go rust. I need to change that color though. Sign. And then for this guy, I want to do bone. I think I have bone in here. Yep, bone body assign. Gotta find a color that I'm not working with. My rusty's the same color as my black. Alright, so we're gonna apply that to that. Actually pretty cool little section there. We have that mirror applied, so we're gonna make this a different rusty color. I have quite a few rusty colors in here, so I need a the more materials I apply, the more textures I can edit, essentially. So we're gonna attach that to there. Check, got those pieces now. What else did I put on here? So next we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna make those the rusty red. Double check I didn't apply any of those. We're getting ready to go right into Substance Painter. Fun. Fabric. That one. And then we'll Control I it, and those are going to be the purple rusty. The pinkish, maroonish, whatever you want to call it. And then this one is going to be the red rusty. Assign. Dopesies. And I know that I duplicated that, but because I have created materials now, so I don't have to go through and do that all over again. Just gonna do that. I'll make sure there's no modifiers. I didn't apply anything. We're gonna start adding all this stuff together and do a nice little export. You know, and before I paint everything, I really should finish the back end. I think putting these spikes on the backpack here would be pretty sick. So let's do that, actually. Make a couple of these. We're gonna duplicate, drag down here. Start playing with them. We're gonna cut selection. Thanks guys for being here with me. I would have been doing this anyways. It's just kind of nice to not be alone while I'm doing it. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Oop. I'm sorry if it's super boring to you. If it's super boring to you, maybe I might recommend you go watch some people who play the game. I'm trying my very best to explain what I'm doing as I go along, but if it's dumb, silly placement stuff like this, I'm not really gonna say too much. It's a lot of shortcut keys, knowing how to edit all this stuff. I'm constantly, you probably hear it on my keyboard, constantly pressing shortcut keys. Getting almost there. Pretty intense turn though. I don't like that. We're gonna do it like that. There. I at least wanted something back there. Now that we have that, we are going to find the center of the tractor again. Cursor to selected. And then we're going to change this to the 3D cursor and then apply a mirror. Double check it placed properly. It did. We're going to hit apply. And then let's add that into here. And now we have one crazy looking tractor. You know what? I actually figured out something to do with, we could put some of these effigies on there. I actually love that one. We'll do that at the very end. We'll do that at the very end. So let's, I just got a really good idea, but I think it's best to save what my magic is going to be. Okay, apply rotation and scale. Now we need to unwrap it. And we need to make a completely new texture. So we'll come right to here and we're going to name it is it a WD4 or is it W4D? Oh man, I can't remember. W4D, let's just go that route. W4D extras. Next. Perfect. We're gonna hit bake on that bad boy. Should have all of our images on there. Cool, let's hit save on it. Save image as. Gonna copy that name so when I export this out I can export the OBJ as well. Okay, we'll hit export, export OBJ. Selection only. Export i3D. Open it up in Substance Painter. We're going to really Wish I could do it on there, but I've never figured out how to work two assets at once. Extras, and we're gonna go import in bake maps, and we're going to track down the extras. Check. And we're gonna save it just in case I like it. I should. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. The W4D. I don't ever want to come back and make edits to it at all. So we'll go down here to the mesh maps. We'll select our ID map again. You guys are gonna be pros at the substance painter thing by the time you're done watching. Doing this so many times. Okay. Dilation width at a 1. ID I unchecked because I needed to make everything else. And then we'll go big selected textures. Let that cruise for a minute. Oh. Alright, now that that's done, we'll go to return to painting. Check, check, check. And now from here, gentlemen, we need to find rough metal stamped. I like that one. That's a good one. We're going to apply that to the black stuff. This looks good. Okay, and then for the steel ruined, I really like, I think we're going to do this one, but we're going to go there, and then we're going to remove the fine rust. And then when we import that into the bake map, I'm actually not going to have it with the rest of the textures. I'll show you what I mean. And then we're going to choose my favorite paint one again. And I think instead of that teal color, I think we're going to go the exact same color that we did with the I think we're going to go that brown look like we did with the other one. And then for the other rust, what are we going to do for the other rust? I need like a Atoll. What do I got for metal in here? Paint metal, rusty metal, gun metal, scratched paint, damaged. Let's see what this looks like. Nope, not that one. Too much. Pitted metal is not bad. Let's try it. See how that looks on there. Looking good. Okay, now we need to find a fabric-y looking one. Looks okay. Bone. Oh, I thought I had an animal bone. Or maybe it's tooth. Animal teeth, maybe? Creature teeth, that's what the name of it was. And I think that's all the... I think that's all of them. I think we're ready to extract out. It looks pretty good. I'm going to stick with that. I don't know, I kind of don't like that. So let's see if there's a different fabric we can use. That looks okay. If we got to edit something, we will. I have burlap, but I don't know how that's going to turn out. Burlap would be better. Except we need to add a little bit of like a dirt, something to the burlap. Color selection, except we want it up there, and maybe instead of being normal, maybe we'll do multiply. A little bit of shade to it. Okay, I think we are ready to export out our textures. Export textures, oh man. folder, select my assets, check. Yeah, I'm gonna make them big. Okay, now that I got them in here, I'm gonna save it all, but I'm gonna duplicate the model. I'm gonna import it over into here, hide this big bad boy. Now, I want these pipes separated, so I'm going to separate by material. And the reason I wanted these pipes separated is I'm actually going to make them their own little doohickey. So I want them to be somewhat like bumpy / scratched. Uncheck this, reselect them. I'm going to go silver bumpy. They're going to be on their own fill type thingy, not fill type, material. Everything else, the black, a lot of this stuff we can just connect up. Oh, and then there's an important step we don't want to miss. So I'm just reconnecting everything right now. Not really using a whole lot of Giants' UDMI mapping features. We're just gonna be strictly just utilizing the actual texture I made. So it should just be those two, the pipes and those that are left, but we need to separate the back end here. So these can be installed on. Make sure that we have just that. Cool. Check my selection. Geometry. I'm gonna go by geometry as well. Probably gonna mess that up. By geometry. And before I do my export out, I need to apply edge split to everything. And this will make it not be so glossy, stuff like that. I'm also going to change all these materials to just extras. W4D extras. I have my push to talk on Discord. Nobody's jumped in there, so we're just gonna exit that. Push the top, alright. And then, same thing here, I'm gonna strip all these off. And then we're gonna go to the extras. Gonna leave this bumpy here, because I do want to use Giants' shader for that one, just so I can get the gloss on the pipes nice. Now that those are in there, check. Make sure everything has edge split on it, edge split. Edge split, good. Okay, so now we can select everything. I'll go to my Giants tab. And I need to apply some attributes here, such as cast shadows, receive shadows, a clip distance of 200, apply selected, export, and this is going to be going to a Mad Max folder, which is fine. Oh, we don't even have I didn't apply it to that. Silly me. Attributes, apply, export. We're ready for big show. Because I can't see anything, we're going to import back in another light. Now that I got that in there, let's, oh, look at the craziness. Here we go, baby. Apply some more lights here. I'm going to group this, call it extras, export out of the top, collapse everything. I'm going to import it into there. The one thing I'm not going to have in here is the back ones because I want those. I think they're gonna be attached to this back thing. We'll see. We'll have to rearrange those, it looks like. Or we'll do a negative. Nope, that's not going to work. So we're going to have to manually place these now. It's fine. It's perfectly fine, as long as they're lined up with our other ones we imported in. Pull it so close. Down just a hair. I think that's going to work. Hopefully we don't get any flashing textures or anything. Okay, now that those are imported in, we need to apply our textures. Ready for the fun part? WD Extra is right there. Yes, convert, optimize. Give us the full cookies, my friends. We want your cookies. And now that we've converted it, I'm going to copy it to my Mad Max folder, so it's included. Apply the texture, and we will see what the gloss maps look like. Sometimes I don't end up using them because I like the flat look and I really don't need too much glossiness going on, but we'll see what it does to it. Actually did a pretty good job. I don't think we're going to apply a bump map, a normal map, but that looks pretty good. Let's do the pipes now. Extras, yep. And I actually never copied this over yet, the specular map. Let's apply that inside of there. Paste. Okay, now that I've applied that, and this one in particular, we're gonna go vehicle shader, and it'll give us that chromey look. If we didn't do that, we wouldn't have had that chromey look. So now all of our parts that are kind of chrome are gonna have that. I think it looks wild, right? You guys want to see what it looks like in game really fast? Let's see if it works. Hit save. Wait, before I do that, I want to fix something. Because that isn't where that texture is located anymore. It is located in here. Like that. Alright. Ready for the wildness? Nope. Wrong code. Wrong code. Moment of truth. Here we go. Are you ready? Pretty cool, right? What do you guys think? Between that one and my small one, it's over here. I want to fly now. I want to look at it from different angles. Alright, I'm getting it done. It doesn't take too long to do this. You know what? I probably worked for about 45 minutes prior to you guys coming on. So I'm not making a whole mod from scratch, but it does take me about 2 or 3 hours to make one of these. You know, but I think it looks freaking sweet. Sorry, I might be a little vain right there, but I think it looks really cool. And it actually, let's double check the bed area. Oh, I can't get in because I'm flying. When we turn, does it? Oh yeah, it does work. That's so cool. Let's buy some equipment and see how that looks with it. I don't know what to put behind it. Let's need to put something behind it. Maybe a big slurry tank. I don't know. Yeah, kind of confusing. No, maybe not a slurry tank. They got like a big cedar or something. Yeah, let's look and see what this looks like. See if it conflicts with anything. I guess that's not really hydraulic hookup. I thought it was bigger, but let's just see when we turn if we do any bumping or anything like that. What do you think, Tony? You gonna play with this now? I know you don't like multi-act, but it works. Look at that. No issues. Barely kind of. Maybe if a model was a little tighter, it would bump, but I think that's pretty good. We definitely need to. Hold on, gentlemen. We have pipes up right here, but there's no. Oh, rawr! I didn't even see him there, but you know, get out of my way, fool. This thing's a monster truck. Let us go back into here really fast. Let's find the. We are looking for cabin. We're looking for exhaust. Where's the heck's the exhaust? Exhaust particles. Public service. I don't want to talk to you, whoever you are. Public service. Okay, now that I've found the exhaust. Oh, that's kind of crappy. Okay, we can fix that. Extract it out. We're going to paste it inside of there. We're going to move this exhaust to the center point, and then it'll be right back to where it was. Okay, so we got to move that because I moved it. I'm going to make additional ones, but I moved the initial one in there. So now we need to make sure I open up here and go to the motorized section, and that should contain the exhaust, which is right here. So this exhaust particle is referencing to the i3D mappings, which has our node right here. So we need to make sure that node matches up with this node, which, because we moved it in one, now it's going to have this extra 0 on it that we're going to need to change. And we'll do that. Okay, so that code's fixed. Let go back to the model, and we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to start putting them in here. I'm going to completely straighten out the rotations. Now green is where the exhaust is going to come out. So the green arrow is the angle. I think that's good enough. There's one. I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm going to pull it directly over to the other one. Might have to add a light into this because it's super dark. Put it that way. I'm going to angle it that way. Okay, so we've added 2 more exhaust particles in there, and in order for those to show up, we actually need to add them in here, wherever I had them. So the real way you're supposed to do this is come down here to i3D and inject them in this way using the ID reference. It does help. It does help people if people are like diving in your mods or anything like that. It helps them find what they're doing, or even reminding yourself what you're doing years into the future, like me. So in order to do that, we would pull it over here, and we made 2. We made a 2 and we made a 3. So now those are technically coded up and working perfect. I I'll hit save. We'll hit save on this as well. And let's hop in it and update it. It needs to be blacker, and maybe like one more, maybe one in the front. So we're gonna change that really dark, really quick. So it'll be 0.01 space 0.01 space 0.01. That's gonna give me pretty dark exhaust right off the bat, even without even pushing on the gas. And the scaling wasn't too bad. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger. Hit save. Let's update this in here. There's no area. It doesn't really get it. The game doesn't get super dark. But I definitely feel like possibly we need to add maybe one or two more exhaust nodes in here. So let's go and do that right now. Okay, there's one placed. Probably just gonna go with 4 in here, just so it doesn't get too clustery. Kind of making sure it's lined up right in the center of the pipe. Best I can see, it's hard to see the node. Alright, hit save. We'll come into here. And we will duplicate this. And we're going to name that one 4. We're going to name that one 5. After we got those, scroll all the way back down to the bottom, and we're going to install them here as well. Wait, did I mess that up? I think I did. Did I not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's count. See if I'm good at counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay. Sorry, my brain wasn't working for a second. 3 and 4, so that matches up with the indexes. Save on here as well, and we'll pull it up in here. Do another reload. Start that engine up. That's better. Yep, this is definitely my new daily driver. Not even gonna lie. Pretty cool. Alright. I say we try something out, and look at all this equipment over here I can try. I don't even know what half this stuff does. I just put it in because you guys need it. I'm farm, man. Let's make mods, vlog, mine. Is it actually going to do this for me? Cool. He's a happy camper. Bye-bye, Lavender. He's a happy camper. Yo, what's up, Chevy? We're just making apocalyptic tractors. Well, this has been fun. About an hour and 40 minutes with you guys. If you haven't already hit that like button, You know how it goes. Help the brother out. If you would like to support me crazy, you can go join the Patreon. This will be a public version of this crazy apocalyptic tractor. It'll also be installed in the map, so be watching over the next couple days. I'll make this into a workable mod 100% and post it on my Patreon for anybody to download, anybody to check out. Definitely don't mind it. If you're hanging out in the stream and you see my mods there with somebody using my stuff, make sure to let people know where they get it. Especially if I'm doing stuff for the public, I definitely want to share all that. Look at that, it's wild looking, man. I feel like it kind of needs something on the hood, but then again, it might not. Look, our pipes went super dirty super quick, and our tires. Definitely looks a lot better once it's all dirty. But yeah, well, that battle tractor that they made for FS19 Chevy, in comparison to what I just made, this has a lot more details. That battle tractor had kind of janky everything on it, but at least with this, maybe I'm being vain. I love it. I think it looks cool as crap. And all the animations still worked at normal. Oh. Well, apparently we're done farming. Apparently we're done. That's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. I want to buy it one more time just to see if there's any issues that might have escaped me. Oh, you know what we could do? We could make a store icon. I could also do a screenshot because it looks really cool like that. I gotta say, good pick on the coloring. There, I don't know if Tony's still with me or not, but probably not. It's been well over a long time. I gotta give him props for staying. But good coloring on that, very neutral tone. It came out perfect. On that note, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Be following my Patreon. I will be posting this public here pretty soon. I don't know when, 100%. Just made it today, so I need to polish up some stuff. You saw me make it live on camera, and if you didn't, this video will be posted up afterwards so you can watch. So if you're watching this in the future, make sure to comment on the video to give it a little bit of a oomph in the algorithm. On that note, stay tuned for my whenever I feel like doing it. I have the lizard truck as well that I am doing this to. And it's going to be quite the details on it as well. I will see you guys all in the future. Make sure to love your mother. And don't pick on your brothers and sisters if you have them. Later, guys.